Nancy Wilson is here with a definitive box set recently issued by Capitol Records titled The Essence of Nancy Wilson, 4 Decades of Music. Ms. Wilson is one of music's most stylish and sultry vocalists that has crossed over from jazz to R&B and to pop. She's worked with the legendary alto saxophonist Cannonball Adderley, who first discovered her and subsequently recorded with her, along with pianist George Shearing, the Crusaders, and Grover Washington Jr., just to name a few. At 15, she won a talent show in Columbus, Ohio, where the prize was her own twice-a-week TV show titled Skyline Melodies. She won a Grammy in the category of Best Rhythm and Blues Recording for How Glad I Am. That was back in 1964. And the Nancy Wilson Show on NBC television won her an Emmy for the 67-68 season. She's released over 60-plus albums. 37 of those recordings, released over a 20-year period, were issued on Capitol Records, and many of those years she was second in sales only to the Beatles, passing sales of Frank Sinatra, the Beach Boys, Nat King Cole, and Peggy Lee. Miss Wilson hosts the Gold Medal Award-winning series NPR Jazz Profiles that features people, places, and events in jazz, and has in stores a new CD with pianist Ramsey Lewis titled Meant to Be. And I am pleased to welcome to Words and Music, Miss Nancy Wilson, and thank you for doing this.
It's my pleasure.
Appreciate
Thank you.
I want to hold up the box set, The Essence of Nancy Wilson, 4 Decades of Music, which is just a tremendous box set. And I want to start with this. The idea for this was born out of what? How did the project come together? The song selections, all the details for it. Tell me about that.
Well, I think really Capitol decided they wanted to do it. David Nathan put it together. I was informed, and I had no idea, I didn't remember that there had been a live album done at the Sands Hotel, which was basically something that they felt they could release. And after I listened to it, I couldn't understand why we didn't release it then. I loved it, and then I got to choose an entire CD of songs I wanted people to listen more to because of the lyric content, because the songs are great. And they put a lot of songs on there that were only singles, and I was never a single seller. I didn't go into the studio to record singles. So that's pretty much the way that it came about, and they wanted to get some of the imports, the things that I had done in Japan, released on Capitol. So this is a fabulous box set. I am so proud that it is out now while I'm young enough to appreciate it. I'm glad they didn't wait till I passed before they did it. The booklet, there's a 64-page booklet in there that's
great pictures too.
Just unbelievable. So I am very pleased with Capitol for doing this.
Why now for this box set?
I have no idea why now. I mean, that's what I say. I'm grateful that they did it now. They just decided to do it. I mean, it was nothing I instigated. I heard about it and said, oh, that sounds good. And it was because there'd been 2 boxes out before. Hollywood and Broadway were done back to back. And I don't know, they just seemed to think that this was the right time. Probably because it's my 50th year in the business and I'm turned 65 this year. It all comes together. It's a nice package, the entire career. The life is kind of all coming together this particular spring.
You know, speaking about coming together, give me a sense, was there any time ever where you felt at one with one particular song? Not necessarily on this box set, but anything that you've ever performed or sung, where you felt one with that recording?
There was a song that in the studio was that I won't forget. It's called When a Woman Loves a Man. And it was a full orchestra, and we did one take, and tears were rolling down people's faces, including mine. And that I remember extremely well.
What was it that touched you?
Because that's, you know, it's true. It's one of the, very rarely do I let a song be personal, because you can't afford to do that. But it was the story of the time. It was right then. You know, the lyric is, maybe he's not much, just another man doing what he can, but what does she care when a woman loves a man? It is every woman's story about someone she loves.
And what does Nancy Wilson have to do to submerge yourself, to immerse yourself in a song? Like, you know, some people close their eyes when they're performing. What does it take for you to emotionally submerge yourself in that song?
Just sing it. If the lyric is strong enough, And if you feel that strongly about a song, you don't, I never thought about preparation. I've been asked about how do you prepare. I don't. I go with the gift. And that is the gift, is the fact that I am able to bring this acting skill along with the way I feel about lyrics and about people in general. That's a God kind of thing, it's the gift that he gave me, and it allows me to do that. I do close my eyes a lot when I sing. It isn't that you see something.
You just go somewhere else.
But you go someplace else,
right.
Exactly.
As a sidebar, I want to mention, you just mentioned the disc with Ramsey Lewis.
Yes.
I want to mention it's on Narada.
On Narada, yes.
Right, Meant to Be.
Meant to Be.
It just came out, and Ramsey Lewis, great pianist.
Yes, I just spoke to him last night, yeah.
Any song you wish that you would have recorded? I mean, 60 plus albums, but anything that you wish you would have recorded, maybe you heard somewhere, you said, you know what, I wish I would have done that, but haven't.
That was what the Ramsey Lewis album was about. Are there songs that you really want to do that you had not done? And Peel Me a Grape came to mind because I loved it by Blossom Dearie, Shirley Horn, Diana Krall, but everybody is so sweet and nice about it. And I just wanted to bring a little edge to it. So I just wanted to go in there and bring something different to it. And even on stage, we put it on, we've done it a couple of times, and it's even more so. And it's fun. And I also like to every now and then throw in a lot of humor, which it's a very relaxing kind of show. I don't want to have everybody on the edge, like this. I want everybody to be mellow. And that takes, it's all in how the show is run. The running order of the show has a great deal. There's a pacing about it that works for me.
50-year career.
Yes.
I mean, it's amazing. 50 years.
Yeah.
The key to success, the key to longevity for Nancy Wilson, you'd say is what?
Being me. I mean, just taking the time before I ever did this on a national scale to be certain that I really wanted to do it, because I wasn't enthralled with it at 15. I saw a lot of sadness and a lot of unhappy women's lives in this industry, and I did not want that for myself. So from 15 to 22, I worked all around the Midwest, Ohio, all through high school. I was singing with Sir Raleigh Randolph and his Sultans of Swing, every cabaret. I was with Rusty Bryant's band for many years, off and on. In fact, my prom night, first time I'd ever gone to the Club Carolyn was to see Rusty Bryant, and sat in with the band, and he came in the next day to talk to my father about me joining the band, and I said, well, you have to wait, I'm going to college first. A little bit to see if this is, what I want to do. And then eventually I went ahead and went on the road with the band for a while. And there were many people who, you've got to go here and you need to go do this and you should be doing that. I will go when it is time. When I feel that inside I can handle anything that comes. Because it's not, I didn't see the glamorous side of it. I saw leaving home. I don't know about this.
You heard a calling.
Yeah, I wanted to be home first. That was the biggest calling, was, do you really want to go do this? But I figured that once I was fully grown and kind of mature inside, when you know who you are, very few things can sway you. You're the one who can control your ship. And I wanted to make sure that I could always go home and feel good.
Maybe we could have said it this way. What do you think it is, what do you believe it is that distinguishes you from other singers, other vocalists?
The delivery, the absolute mastery of the language, of enunciation, of really singing a song with content, of being able to make a person. I really think that I get inside them. I do believe that when I open my show, I want you to go home with something. I want you to take it home with you. I want you to cuddle it. Because some song in that show hopefully will touch a part of your heart that you will keep. And there's a warmth, I think, about the voice. There is an honesty about the voice. And the lyric that I try to give you is one that is important that you should take with you.
I'm going to take out of the concert hall setting for just a moment. I want to put you into the classroom setting, master class. You're in front of a class of future vocalists or people studying vocals right now. And somebody comes up to you and says, Nancy, I want to find out how to get my own signature, my own style. You would tell them what?
That's very difficult because the most honest thing to say about that is you are, when you wake up in the morning, however you want to sing that morning. I mean, the real you, if you sing what you like, what feels like you, then that is your signature. Just acknowledge the fact that you're, by osmosis alone, you're everything you've ever heard is a part of you. And don't feel bad about it. If there's someone that you really like, you don't have to emulate them or try to sound like them.
Correct.
But take your sound and use what you like about them. Is it the way they say the word? But your voice is yours. You cannot make your voice become something else. You can. People try to do that. But what is honest, what naturally comes out of you, without you thinking about it, is you.
Because I think the hardest, it's always good to tell somebody up front, the hardest thing to do is be yourself on stage or in recording, in the recording process. That is difficult, and I think that people should take influences from people that they have heard before.
Yeah. And it's automatic. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. By process of osmosis, you'll use everything you've ever heard. It will be a part of you. There's no way I can differentiate myself from little Jimmy Scott if my life depended on it. And because I sound a great deal like Jimmy Scott. By the way I phrase, by the way we elongate words and sustain. But the humorous side of me, I mean, that obviously came from Dinah Washington.
So do you think that growing up where you did and when you did had a lot to do with it? And also, what do you think was the one thing that most shaped you in your adolescence that also helped catapult you to where you are today?
I think the very fact that I had grandmothers and grandfathers. I mean, I had 3 sets, you know, like my mom's mom and her and father, and my mother's mother and a father, and I knew her mother, and you know, you understand, I had like 15 grandparents living when I was 15. That sense of I am cool, I'm good. I mean, there are no doubts. None of that nonsense about, and I never knew what it was like to be nervous because, I mean, I was surrounded by love. I was surrounded by solidity, stability. And just never had fears, never worried about things. Was a good student. I mean, it's just, God has always had his arms around me, okay?
I was just going to say.
Yeah, always.